So I was listening to Clif High's, what he calls the Wujo, where he gets on there and just talks. Usually it's about some data he's been looking at in the WebBot report, may not have been released yet, you know, just new data coming in that he wants to discuss. And this was from several days ago, but I'd listened to it. He talks about, funny enough, Quarkcoin, and how it's basically going to be an epic fail. And the funny thing is, everything that I've been talking about in my videos about Quarkcoin, of why I immediately reversed my decision that said originally I think Quarkcoin could be the good coin. Again, we're talking about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, the Quarkcoin, and then I found that little tidbit of information that they're producing basically all the millions of coins in a 6-month period, which was absurd when everyone else was taking years and years and years to do that. His sentiments are basically exactly the same as mine, and he thinks that people will basically, any investment you really got is pretty much gone. At least with Quarkcoin, it's not going to go anywhere really. Sure, it could move a tiny bit like it has, but it's not really going anywhere. I believe he said that the Bitcoin and Litecoin, they're already out there in the, you know, the psyche, if you will, the mindset of people. They understand those two words, Bitcoin and Litecoin. Any other coin, it's like, what is that? What coin? You know, that. Therefore, it's kind of like the example I gave a while back when I said that when things like Facebook came out or like YouTube came out. Sure, other ones came out later, other search engines, you know, newer search engines, new video sites that are like YouTube. But there's only one that everybody goes to, you know what I mean? There's only YouTube, and there's only, as far as search engines go, Google. Google is the absolute king of search engine results. Nothing even comes close. And YouTube is the king of video, or, you know, hosted videos site. Nothing comes close. Not even like a close second. I mean, just, there's no competition. So they came out, they had an image, people started talking about them. That's how everybody knows about them. Neither of them ever had to advertise. YouTube did not have to advertise to bring people to it, and Google did not have to advertise originally to bring people to it. It became a great idea. People told other people, etc., etc., etc. Their algorithm for returning the best search results was superior to everything else out there, and therefore they became the king. So anyone who wants to start a search engine nowadays, or a new video website, you know, good luck. You'll get some traffic, but you're not going to even come close to getting the traffic that YouTube and Google have. Reason I'm bringing that up is because now that Bitcoin and Litecoin are in the minds of people, and they have been, they were the first two coins to appear, they're pretty much set in stone. They are the two coins. Again, it's like Bitcoin's the gold and Litecoin's the silver. So this whole time that I've been mining, which is, I guess we're going on about a month now, I think. Let's see, yeah, not quite, because I think I started right after Thanksgiving, or like the day of, or something like that. You know, mining coins, and I started right away doing Litecoin, and I mined, I think, 1.5 Litecoin, and then I went to that site, coinchoose.com, and that site tells you exactly which coins are more profitable than others to mine at you know, basically any given moment in time. And I stopped mining that, and I started mining Feathercoin, and then Feathercoin went back to being kind of even with Litecoin, and then WorldCoin started doing very well, so I started mining WorldCoin. You know what I mean? So this whole time I've been mining WorldCoin. I haven't stopped, and I'm just accumulating them right now. But I honestly, I'm probably going to convert them into Litecoin. I've already converted some stuff into Bitcoin, and it's basically, I don't even have a full Bitcoin. I've got like a percentage of a Bitcoin, you know, in my possession. But Litecoin, you know, to me, again, it's like the silver of Bitcoin's gold, so to speak. So I think I'm going to end up converting those world coins into Litecoins, and then just sitting on the Litecoins to see where they ultimately go, you know, price-wise. So that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it, as they say. And Clif High, you know, Webbot, and his Wujo was talking about gold and silver again. Still, I'm sure going to do well, like he's always said. But he did say he believes that these cryptocurrencies, and specifically, namely, Litecoin and Bitcoin, he basically said all other ones you can just forget about them, and even ranted on Quarkcoin heavily that it's, you know, epic fail, basically, just like I said yesterday. He didn't use those words, but the same reason I said. Also, it makes sense, you know. But he seems to think that, based off of some data he's getting, these cryptocurrencies, no matter what happens in the next few months or whatever, it ain't going to be, I guess, phasing these coins at all down the long run. And the long run meaning the next year, 2, 3 years, I guess, where their prices really go up in value as things financially and economically start to finally unfold. People are going to be scrambling to save and store their wealth. When you start hearing about pensions being taken and pensions being forced into bonds and treasury bills and all that stuff, people are going to get nervous, and they have to put their money somewhere that makes them feel safe. Back in the day when we had gold and silver, people would bury it in their yards, by a tree or something near their property. Well, we don't use gold and silver anymore, right? So we use cash. Well, no one's burying paper money for obvious reasons, paper. So they either A, invest in gold and silver, which, looking at the stats, somebody's been buying a lot of gold and silver the last couple of years, and still growing. So that's one way. But the average citizen who may not be able to figure out that, or even understand what it means nowadays to have gold and silver, may decide, well, I keep hearing this hype basically about, you know, these coins, these cryptocurrency things. What the hell is all that stuff? And maybe you know, it can sit on a wallet on my computer. That sounds good to me. You know, I don't have to buy a safe and this and that. So I think there's gonna be a lot more talk coming of Bitcoin and Litecoin. And according to Clif High, it is going to be up there with gold and silver for sure. And it's gonna be you know, ultimately a force to be reckoned with, if you will. So that was kind of his update. Trying to see when the hell Publix opens here, and I cannot see a sign. It's early, but matter of fact, there's a sign. Anyways, that's all I got for you right now. I'm bringing my grill. The boys have requested at work, we want some of J Snip 4's ultimate Philly cheesesteaks that I am a master at making now. So I brought my little grill. We're making some Phillies today.